Welcome again to the old Principal English Instructional Program. 我就是老校长, and it's nice to be back with you. And we're moving right along. This is lesson 218, I like foreign languages. Now, I must tell you that from time to time, people ask me, how do you study English? I don't know how to study English. English is so hard for me. I just don't know. How do you do it? Well, I'm going to share with you some of my personal experiences and my own secrets, 我自己的秘诀. And so this is mine. Nothing scientific, just my own experience. But before we do, I want Connie to read it from beginning to end, and then I'll be right back.
Story 218. I like foreign languages. I must confess that I love studying languages. In fact, over the years I have studied Spanish, Greek, Hebrew, and Chinese, besides my own native English. And when people ask me the secrets of learning any language, here's what I tell them. Number 1, there is no magic secret to gain instant fluency in a foreign language. It takes hard work. 2, I used to teach swimming. Here is a universal truth. The only way to learn swimming is by getting into the water to practice. The only way to become a fluent speaker of English is to open your mouth and speak. Number 3, in English, we say that a person must become, quotes, thick-skinned. The meaning is the same in English and Chinese. Don't be embarrassed about making mistakes. Again, the more you open your mouth, the more fluent you will become. Practice makes perfect. Number 4, read, read, read. There is no substitute for extensive reading in many different areas. Number 5, develop a personal journal for recording all new vocabulary words and idioms. Don't write down a new word or idiom and then follow it with an explanation written in Chinese. If you want to learn English, eliminate all use of Chinese. 6, use every opportunity that you can to speak English. Even talk to yourself in front of a mirror if you don't have anyone else to talk to. Number 7, and while you are learning conversation, memorize dialogues and do them with your friends. I hated it when my teachers made me memorize dialogues. I wanted free talk, but free talk only works at the highest levels. Number 8, pronunciation is very important. Number 9, finally, do exactly what you are doing now. Watch TV programs as much as you can. By the way, there are even some unexpected benefits to studying a foreign language. For instance, I met my future wife for the first time in Spanish class. Olé!
Okay, welcome back. Here we go with I like foreign languages, number 218. I must confess that I love studying languages. I've always enjoyed studying languages. Too bad I didn't study Spanish. Now, Spanish, 这个西班牙话, is very popular, 非常热门 in America. Lots of people study Spanish. But for me, I never studied Spanish. But I like languages and studying 语言, so going on. In fact, over the years, I have studied Spanish. I did study Spanish a little bit, but I must tell you, 我已经还给老师, so I don't know Spanish. But I did study 希腊语, okay, and 希伯来语. Okay, these are ancient languages. Okay, 古代的语言. And of course, I've studied Chinese. Now, I must tell you that I'm still studying Chinese because the Chinese say 活到老,学到老, and of course, I'm the old principal. 但是我还不够老, so I am still studying Chinese. I'll study Chinese forever, I'm sure. Okay, going on. When people ask me the secrets of learning any language, here's what I tell them. So just recently, a young person came to me and said, 老师, could you help me with my English? Actually, his reading English, not too bad. His written English, 他会写，但是有一点乱七八糟. But he had a hard time speaking. Okay, this is what I tell people going on. Number one, there is no magic secret to gain instant fluency. Magic, okay, 变魔术, okay, 变魔术, magic, secret, 秘诀. When you put magic, secret together, and 没有一个非常非常好的这个巧合, it's just nothing there. 能够得到 instant fluency. Okay, fluent is 流利, instant is 马上流利. Instant fluency in a foreign language. I don't care what language it is, it doesn't come instantly. It takes time. Especially because children, you know, they pick up languages and they don't even know that they're learning a language. 不知不觉, they're studying this language and they don't even know it, okay? So there's no magic secret to gain instant fluency in a foreign language. It takes hard work. 还是要努力. And especially we're talking about adults now. Going on. Number two, I used to teach swimming. Okay? 说不好听，我是游泳总教练，美国红十字会的游泳总教练. That means I teach teachers how to teach swimming. You got that? 总教练. In other words, my students were just teachers wanting to teach swimming. Here is a universal truth. 非常普遍的真理. Okay, this is a truth. The only way to learn swimming is by getting into the water and practice. You cannot learn to swim on the land. You must get into the water and begin to practice in the water. Now, think about it. If we're going to apply this to the English, studying English or any foreign language, how are we going to do that? How do we do? When I say you've got to get into the water to learn to swim, what does it mean with English going on? The only way to become a fluent speaker, that is to speak English fluently, 很流利讲英文, is to open your mouth and speak. 你要开口讲话. You've got to speak. That's the only way. I mean, of course, you can read. You can read, but we want to learn to speak conversational English. 能够跟别人对话. This is the kind of English that people really want to speak. Going on. In English, we say that a person must become thick-skinned. Now, I've always thought that this was interesting because the English and the Chinese are quite similar. Okay? We say in English, you must become thick-skinned. 的皮肤要厚一点. In Chinese, we say 我们的脸皮要厚一点. What does that mean? Okay? It means that we should not become too embarrassed. Let's look at it. The meaning is the same in English and Chinese. Okay, thick-skinned, thick-skinned. English and Chinese. Don't be embarrassed about making mistakes. 当你讲错的时候，不要这个不好意思 ，OK， 不要just I made a mistake, because actually this young person that I was telling you about, he froze up, 好像是变成了这个冰块，是停顿了。He couldn't speak out. He knew the words, but he was afraid to speak English in front of 老校长, the old principal. Well, anyway, so be careful and don't be afraid to make mistakes to begin with. That's how you learn. Okay? Again, the more you open your mouth, the more fluent you will become. The more you open your mouth, 开口讲话的多, the more fluent 你会变得更加流利. Practice makes perfect. That's a famous American English saying, 熟能生巧. Okay, practice makes perfect. Going on. Well, we've been talking about speaking. Now we talk about reading. Read, read, read. The more you read, the more this English begins to come into your mind. There's no substitute for extensive reading in many different areas. 没有一样东西取代 substitute. Good word to learn. Substitute. 取代. Okay? Extensive reading. That means a lot of reading. Much reading. Reading all the time. In many different areas. 在不同的题目. Okay? So you read on the internet, you read books, you read about this, you read about that, read about many different things, not all the same, all the same. You read many different things. Go ahead. 5. Develop a personal journal for recording all your new vocabulary words and idioms. Okay, develop, that means start doing. Developing means that when you first do it, you may not be very good, but you get better and better at it. So normally develop means 发展, but in this case it just means go ahead and make yourself a personal 自己的笔记本, okay, or a journal, 日记本, okay, and every day you 记下来 record, okay, all the new vocabulary, 新的生字, okay, and idioms, 习惯用语, just like 熟能生巧. Do you remember what that was? Can you say it? Practice makes, that's right, perfect. Practice makes perfect. Now, if you didn't know that, a lot of people learn that early. If you didn't, then write it down, because this is the way you remember. You know, I should say right now that if you speak it and you write it and you see it, then it helps to remember. Speak, write, see, and maybe even hear somebody say it. Okay, all of these senses, sight, hearing, doing, it helps you to remember. Don't write down a new word or idiom and then follow it with an explanation written in China. Now, you may consider this strange, but the more Chinese you write, if you're studying English, the more Chinese you write, then this Chinese becomes a crutch. 你太依赖它, it becomes a crutch, 好像拐杖一样. So I wrote it down here. Don't write down a new word or idiom and then follow it. 在这个英文字后面 follow it. 跟着来写一个 explanation written in Chinese. Of course you can do it. Of course. You can do it. But the best thing is if you could use English to explain English. Now that will help you keep this in your mind. I may have even written that down. Go ahead. Okay. If you want to learn English, eliminate all use of Chinese. So the less you use Chinese, the better. In fact, in this program, 老校长的节目, the reason why I use mostly English to explain English, of course I use some Chinese, but the reason why I do this is because we're learning English, so you need to get used to listening, okay, to get used to 习惯语, get used to listening to English, not Chinese. Anyway, my Chinese is 破烂的中文, so yeah, you probably do better if you listen to my English, okay? Go ahead. Number 6, use every opportunity you can to speak English. If you have an opportunity, speak English. Speak English. Speak English. Even talk to yourself in front of a mirror. And if you don't have anyone else to talk to, do you have a mirror in your house? If you have a mirror in your house, 镜子, especially a big one, a big mirror, stand in front of the mirror and practice speaking English. 哇，好不好意思? I think it's awkward, 很尴尬. It just feels strange to stand in front of the mirror and speak Chinese. Well, If you're learning English, it'll probably feel strange to speak English in front of the mirror. Okay? At least the mirror will not laugh at you. 绝对不会笑你. Why? Because the mirror is just a piece of glass. Okay? But the best thing is practice speaking to somebody else. If you can speak with somebody else, then that's really cool. That's good. Okay? Next one. 7. And while you're learning conversation, memorize dialogues and do them with your friends. No, I tell you a sad story. How much time do I have? Okay. I just want to make sure. I tell you a sad story. I was a teacher, and I came to learn Chinese, and my Chinese teacher forced me to memorize 对话, okay, these dialogues. Memorize it. And I said, 拜托, I want, please, I want just to speak English freely. Speak English freely. Okay. I did not want to learn the conversations, 这个对话, these dialogues. I didn't want to memorize. 我不要背, and 更不要背诵. And so I should practice with my friends. Going on. Okay, go back. Okay. I hated when the teachers made me memorize dialogues. Okay. You know why I didn't like it? Because I wanted free talk. 自由讲话. I felt that that's the way I would learn. 自由讲话. But free talk only works at the highest levels. So 最高的懂得最多的英语呢, free talk, yeah, valuable. But when you are learning English, it is important to memorize. And then 背诵, 给你的朋友们背诵. Going on. Pronunciation is important. I tell you, pronunciation, 发音, it's important. And this is, you know, if you make a mistake, but your pronunciation, 你的发音, is good, I can still understand what you're saying. Isn't that true? You think about it. Even my Chinese, take my Chinese, 我破烂的中文. Okay, when 我的句子构造 not so cool. I make mistakes. Sometimes 我的音调也不对. But 多多少少很多人都说，艾校长，你的发音不错. So some people even say, well, it's strange. Some people say, 哇，你真的是北京来的. I say, no, you're kidding me. No, I'm not from 北京来的. 但是北京人说你是南方来的. Ha, I'm an American. And I speak a little Chinese. 不过我的发音不会离谱太远. Now, this is the important thing. Pronunciation is very important. If you say it right, I can always guess. 我可以猜你的意思. Going on. Finally, do exactly what you are doing now. Watch TV programs as much as you can. Finally, do exactly as you're doing now. Watch, well, if you're studying English, then watch English TV programs, or listen to different things. Listen to radio programs. TV programs is a little bit easier to understand the English than radio programs, okay? Going on. By the way, there are even some unexpected benefits from studying foreign language. At least I found an unexpected 没想到的一个益处好处. What was my unexpected benefit from studying foreign language? What did I get out of the foreign language? Going on. For instance, I met my future wife for the first time in a Spanish class. Okay, 当我在西班牙话的课上课的时候 the first time 我见到我未来的妻子 was in the Spanish class. So this was an unexpected benefit, 好处益处. And then I end up a Spanish word, ole. Do you know what ole means? Ole means triumph, 胜利. Okay, 胜利. Ole. So with that, we are now finished with my personal take on how to study English. Now, you can write an email address and tell me your secrets too. theoldprinciple@gmail.com, and then our website, www.theoldprinciple.org. With that, it's been great spending this time with you, and I hope that you will join us next time.